The farm was purchased in 1946 by my grandfather. He decided Long Island and that was too busy and moved everybody up here with not much. So they pretty much just packed 5 kids and moved up here, no running water in the house, and here we are. There was room for like 10 or 12 cows, and I guess they just got cows when they moved here. And they had 2 milking units, and they milked by hand too. Well, I know in '58 they still were shipping cans because the winter of '58 they had to take the milk from here down to the main road on a sled because the snow was so deep that there was no way to get any trucks up here for a month. They got a bulk tank sometime in the early '60s. My grandfather's name was Walter and my grandmother's name was Erna. They were going to use some other names, but they were already taken or something like that, so they came up with this one. My father and my uncle Jerry, they did the farm together, and they built the addition and did more and brought it pretty much to where it is today. When they built the original barnyard in '98, at that time they didn't think they could engineer it so that there could be a culvert and a crossing over top of the stream, so they made it so the cows have to walk down into the stream and out on top of concrete slats. They decided that we're at least going to try and see if we can put culverts in it, if it'll work or not, and they did. Right now it's nicer. They come across there nice.
Fred, we're standing here at your new crossing that we put in this summer. Can you tell me what it was like before we did this?
It was a sort of a V ramp into the water with a concrete slats underneath it, and the water ran over the top, and anything that was on top ended up in the water and flowed away. Also in the winter the ice would build up and the cows couldn't cross at all if it was icy. And
they cross it twice a day.
Yeah, they cross it every day. It should be better for the cows' feet and stuff that they're not going through the mud. And
it's kind of a nice grade right to the to the barnyard there. All the manure was running down into that stream also.
Yes, and hopefully this will filter it better.
And now that we have the culverts in, we originally the engineer didn't think we could do that, and they figured out we could do that with the size stream that goes through here. And the barnyard was put in like 20 some years ago.
Yes.
Looks pretty good now, but I know you said it was horrendous before that.
Yeah, before it was just earth and some gravel.
And you said it really improved your hoof health. Barnyard, it's out of lifespan, 20 some years. We're gonna have to roof the barnyard now to keep any water from running onto the barnyard and running off, because we have a wetland that's not 25 feet away.
Yeah, the stream is like right there by the filter area. They did more road improving, defined the drainage pretty much from any of the runoff water from the mountain, and put in access roads to the upper fields. And probably '09 or something like that, we did some spring developments and put some land in CREP to keep the animals out. This is sort of the biggest project they've done in a while. It's a barnyard and feeding pad for the heifers so that they're not eating outside and making a mess in a water course.
So the project looks like it's coming along pretty good.
I would say it's about 3/4 of the way done. Where we were standing, it was just pretty much like a feed lot, and I had a feeder wagon sitting here, and we just fed them and scraped the mud and manure in a pile. It stayed there.
Couldn't spread it because of the stones in there and going through the spreader.
Yeah, and this should all help because it's all concrete.
Right, now you can scrape from the barn into the barnyard and then into the storage. And then there's times where you can't spread where the
Right.
corn is starting to grow, the grass, you haven't taken a hay
Or
cutting yet.
Snow's
right?
too deep to even drive through or even get into a field because the banks are too high. And I can store it in here then.
We had some watershed funding through WAC, and then we also had RCPP, the Regional Conservation Partnership Program that funded part of the project too.
Yeah.
So. You're going to have a feed alley over here,
Yep.
and feeding in the barn.
Yep. And they're going to be feeder wagon, either hay or silage is going to be fed out here. And
How often are you going to clean it, do you think?
it all depends on how much they're on it, the time of the year. Probably in the winter, every other day or every day, depending on what it looks like.
What's nice, you can just push the manure
Yeah,
right
I can
there,
scrape it
then
right into the.
into the storage.
Yeah, it used to be I scraped it out the door into like a hole. And then you had to scoop it out of the hole, put it in the spreader, and get rid of it. But now it should be easy, or
A lot easier.
yes.
The main thing is we're trying to just track what I'm feeding and how my costs for like grain and stuff, because the grain is the most expensive purchases that I have on the farm. And from their point, they're trying to monitor so there's not as much phosphorus or nitrogen getting into the water. If I can use less commercial feed, then we both will get what we want.
I love my calves. I love the cows. They all have a different personality. They're just special. Even when it gets aggravating, and it's still okay.
I'm in the city watershed, right? I might as well join the club and do everything that there's possible to make things right.